welcome back to Sham's Makeup Artistry. Today I actually filmed like a get ready with me kind of makeup look, like showing you guys my updated makeup routine, and it's a very quick one and it's a talk through tutorial. So if you want to see how I achieved the entire makeup look, please stay tuned. So I'm going to start with my face primer first. So I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin. This is their new Elixir weightless beauty oil. So I'm just going to apply this all over my face, just like one pump. This kind of like hydrates my face because I do have like a combination to dry skin. If you tend to have like oily skin, you may want to skip this face primer. You want to use more of like a mattifying primer, but for me this one helps to glide the foundation smoothly. But the only thing with this face primer is it doesn't really cover up any pores like you have. Like I do have a little bit on my nose area. So for that I like using my Tatcha. This is their silk canvas. So I just use this on the areas that I feel that I need to cover up the pores, and I like tapping it in. So while waiting for the primer to set in, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty. This is their eye primer for the eyeshadow, because this one does take a little bit time to set in. So I'm just going to apply this so that it just sets in. Meanwhile, I kind of finish up the other areas of my face. There are one or two new products that I'm going to give it a go. Some of it, like I got it through PR with Benefit and Ipsy. And I also want to try out the blush that I got from Tatcha. So before I put on my foundation, I'm going to apply the Too Faced. This is their multi-use sculpting concealer, Born This Way concealer in the shade Warm Sand. So I'm just going to use this on the under eye area lightly, and also sides of my mouth. So I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to blend the concealer in. So with this foundation, I do like to put in my concealer first and then put in the foundation, because it's a tad a little bit darker on my skin, and I will also blend it underneath my eyes. So you can actually see the difference when I blend it on my eye area. And I'm just going to take one pump of the Shiseido. This is their Syncro Skin Self Refreshing Foundation. I will list down all the details on the description bar below. So I'm going to use my Real Technique buffing brush with it. A little bit more at the back of my hands, just on the area that I feel I need additional coverage. So you can see that it does apply a little bit deeper on my skin. So I'm just going to bring it underneath my eye as well, down my neck. Alrighty, that is done. So later I will go and blend in with another concealer that I love using for my face area for highlighting purpose. So let's just move on with the other makeup over the face area first. So the eye primer has actually kind of like sinked in. So I'm going to move on with the eye makeup. So I'm going to give this Holla bronzer. This is the famous bronzer from Benefit that I haven't tried it, but I got it in a PR package. So I'm going to give it a try, but I'm going to use this as a crease color for my eye area. I'm not sure how it will wear on my skin tone because it does look a little bit light, and it came with a broken mirror, so unfortunately. So I'm actually going to apply this on the crease area just as a blending shade. So as a blending shade, it does show up pretty much. So okay, I'm not sure how well it would show as a bronzer on my skin though. So this is a very random, like, get ready with me, like in my everyday kind of makeup look. So I don't really have like any major plans for makeup today. That's done. And then as a base on top of my eye primer, I'm gonna use this base from Nude Stick, and this is their magnetic matte color in the shade Chocolate. So this is in the shade Chocolate, so I'm just gonna apply this on the lower lid area and then slowly bringing it up. So this would keep the eyeshadows from not creasing, because even if with primer sometimes my eyeshadows tend to crease very easily. And I'm just going to blend it with my fingers. And that is already done. So I'm going to use this Nars palette, and this one is the Nars eyeshadow palette in Surabaya. So it's just like deep shades right here. So again, I do not know what I'm going for, but I'm just gonna try. So for this look, I'm just gonna use this one eyeshadow brush, and this is Morphe's M209. So I'm gonna apply the deeper shade, which is right here, and then just packing it on the lower lid, bringing it to the crease area. Just blend in with this brush itself. I tend to use like only one brush these days. Like I tend not to use too many brushes. So once you blend that in on the other side, and I'm just going to clean this brush, and I'm going to use the lighter shade, which is right here. I'm just going to pat it a little bit on the center point of my lid. And I guess pretty much done. I'm going to use the Sigma. This is the diffuse crease brush in E38. I'm just going to blend it in. I'm not taking any additional products. And I guess the eye look is like almost done. I can really see the foundation does look a little bit more deeper on my skin tone today, but we'll make it work. So I'm going to use the Thrive Cosmetics. This is their eyeliner in the shade Black. So I'm just going to apply this on the inner rim. Now that some part of the eye is done, I'm going to move into applying concealers and finishing the rest of my face. So for the concealer, for highlighting purpose, like just to brighten the area even more, I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani. This is their Power Fabric Concealer. So I'm going to apply very little of this concealer, like not too much, because or else it's going to look very bright. Right here, here, and here, focusing on that area first. If you want more brightness under the eye, you can always apply thereafter, like start blending slowly with very little products, and then, add it as it goes, like as you need. So you can see that I'm not adding any additional products. I'm just using whatever that, I applied earlier. One area that I like to add the concealer is on the inner corners, because that's where I get the darkness more. So like I add a little bit here, a little bit here. However you add it, it may look messy, but you just have to blend it in. So that is pretty much done. So I'm going to set it with my Hourglass Mineral Veil Setting Powder. So I'm going to use this brush, which is a powder sweep brush from Sigma, and it's the F06 brush. Lightly dust it on the areas that I need to set in the concealer. So for the face bronzer, I'm going to use my Hourglass. This is their ambient lighting bronzer in Radiant Bronze Light. I'm not going to use my Holla one because I believe it's going to be light on my skin. And I'm going to use the Zoeva. This is their highlight brush, but I like using it for bronzers. So just pat in the bronzer. You can always skip the steps if you feel that it's a lot to do. You can always just apply blush and then you're pretty much good to go. Now moving on to the blush, I'm going to use the Patrick Ta blush, and this is their Monochrome Moment Velvet blush in the shade She's Seductive. And this is how the blush looks like. It doesn't really pick up much product on the brush, but on the face it does show up pretty well. So I'm just going to pat it in. So the blush is also pretty much done. So I'm going to move back to the eye area again. So I'm just going to apply the Holla bronzer on the lower lid. Just going to like smudge it under the lower lid. Kind of like smoke it out and also even the eyeshadows out. And this is a pencil brush by Morphe, and this is M169. Doing it on the other side of the eye as well. And then I'm going to apply the Marc Jacobs. This is their gel eyeliner in the shade Brownie. I like applying this because it kind of like adds a definition to the lower lid area. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because it's like a typical thing that I do and nothing different, so I'll be right back. So I've already applied the highlights for the inner corners and also my brow area. I used my Dior Backstage eyeshadow palette, and there's a highlight shade that I always use, so I kind of use that very lightly. So for the lash, I've already used the Shiseido Lash curler to curl it up, and then for the mascara I'm going to try the Benefit Roller Lash. I've tried this a couple of times. I kind of like it, but I don't find that it's extraordinary. It does come like, you know, with like a curvy kind of applicator. So I'm just going to apply my mascara. You can see I've already changed my background. Like I just added some flowers and it actually fell just now when I was filming, so I have to put them right intact again. This mascara does tend to clump a little bit. So pretty much everything is done. So I do have like a deep lip shade in my mind today. I do not know why. I just wanted to wear a deep lip shade. But I also have a nude one in front of me, and this one is by Patrick Ta. And this one is their Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Cream in the shade She's Confident. This is the deeper shade that they have, but it does go pretty light on my skin tone. So the reference on Sephora website is not that accurate. Anyway, anyhow, all the time, but even with the lip colors, they kind of like, you know, it's disappointing that the shade reference is not the exact one, or something really kind of like similar. It's not even like maybe what 50% similar, so that is like a bummer. So I have to always use a deeper lip shade with it, which I always do with most of my nude lipsticks. I'm also going to try this deep one. I'm not going to try the Patrick Ta one probably because I want to wear a deeper shade today. So I'm going to use the Nude Stick Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil in the shade Raven. But I'm just going to lightly line my lips before using it so that it doesn't bleed. I might change my mind along the way, let's see. And then I'm going to apply the lip color. So this is how the deeper shade looks like with this makeup look. I'm not very sure whether I'm going to wear the deeper shade, but I'll also try the nude one. So I've already like removed the deeper lip shade, so let's give a nude one a try with this look. So I'm going to use the same lip liner. So I'm going to try the Patrick Ta one. I do like the formula of it and also the applicator, but the only bummer is the shade. So this is how the nude shade looks like. So I kind of prefer it with a nude shade, but I have to just blend it in with the lip liner even more because you can see that it does look light. So pretty much that's about it. So I've already got my makeup look for today. So I do hope that you enjoyed my get ready with me, like a very random get ready with me. And to my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all your love and support, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.